If you knew what happens when you pray the Rosary every day, you would never stop. Maybe you think praying the Rosary is just repeating prayers, an old tradition that some people follow. But what if I told you that this daily practice can completely change your life? The saints recommended it, Our Lady asked for it, and even science has shown that prayer has a real impact on us. But what exactly happens when you pray the Rosary every day? Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you how the Rosary can be the key to the peace you're looking for, and at the end, a special invitation for you to take the next step in your prayer life. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up so more people can discover this blessing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button because this content might be just what you need to strengthen your faith. Okay, let's begin. Since the earliest times, the Church has always taught about the power of prayer. But what makes the Rosary so special? Pope John Paul II himself said that the Rosary is a school of contemplation and holiness. And he wasn't the only one. St. Louis de Montfort said that praying the Rosary with devotion can give us more grace than any other prayer. And it doesn't stop there. Our Lady has appeared many times throughout history at key moments, asking for one thing: pray the Rosary every day. In Fatima, in 1917, Mary gave a clear warning: pray the Rosary every day for peace in the world. But why does Our Lady insist so much on this? What happens when we make this prayer a daily habit? Let's understand now. Many people start praying the Rosary without high expectations, but over time, something changes. An unexplainable peace takes over the soul, difficult situations begin to resolve themselves, and even miracles happen. Let's look at some amazing examples. The miracle of the Rosary in Hiroshima. In 1945, when the atomic bomb fell on Hiroshima, one house was left standing in the middle of the destruction. Inside, 8 Jesuit priests lived and prayed the Rosary every day. While thousands of people were affected by the radiation, they were unharmed. Doctors couldn't explain it, but they had an answer: we just pray the Rosary daily. Padre Pio and the power of the Rosary. St. Pio of Pietrelcina, one of the most amazing saints of the Church, called the Rosary a spiritual weapon. He prayed more than 30 rosaries a day, and it's no coincidence that he witnessed countless miracles and even had the stigmata of Christ. When asked what the secret to holiness was, he always answered, pray the Rosary. The conversion of Bartolo Longo. Bartolo Longo was a Satanist who became a great devotee of the Rosary. He said that, when he began to pray, he felt the weight of sin disappearing and his soul being freed. Years later, he built one of the largest sanctuaries dedicated to Our Lady of the Rosary in Pompeii, Italy. Now I have a question for you. Have you ever had a powerful experience while praying the Rosary? Tell us about it in the comments below because your story could inspire and help other people. But if all of this is already amazing, what happens spiritually inside us when we pray the Rosary every day? The answer may surprise you. Praying the Rosary isn't just repeating words. Something much bigger happens with each Hail Mary, something that transforms our soul. The first thing that happens is spiritual protection. When we pray the Rosary, we come into direct contact with Our Lady, and she, as a mother, protects us from temptations and spiritual attacks. Many exorcists say that the devil hates the Rosary because it destroys his traps and pushes away his influence. St. Louis de Montfort himself wrote that a well-prayed Rosary is a powerful blow against hell, and it's not hard to understand why. With each mystery we meditate on, we draw closer to Jesus through Mary and receive a special grace. Besides protection, the Rosary helps our faith grow. Praying regularly makes us stronger in our spirit, keeps the gospel close to our hearts, and helps us trust more and more in God's plan. And then comes one of the greatest gifts, inner peace. Saying Hail Marys over and over isn't just words, but it creates a rhythm of prayer that calms us down, takes away our everyday worries, and puts us in a state of complete trust in God. Many people say that after a few days praying the Rosary they notice their worries lessen, that they face challenges with more serenity, and that even their relationships get better. It's not a coincidence, it's God's grace. Now think about this with me. If all of this is happening spiritually, does anything change in the everyday life of someone who prays the Rosary? The answer is coming up next. If praying the Rosary changes our soul, does it also change our everyday life? The answer is a big yes. The first noticeable impact is in how we face our daily challenges. Those who pray the Rosary realize that difficulties still exist, but the way they handle them changes completely. Despair gives way to confidence, anger transforms into patience, and fears begin to lose their power. Many people say that, after making it a habit to pray the Rosary every day, they began to feel an unexplainable inner peace, even in the middle of problems. It doesn't mean that everything becomes perfect, but prayer gives us clarity to make better decisions and teaches us to trust in God in the midst of difficulties. And there's more. Even science has shown that daily prayer can reduce stress and anxiety levels, improve focus, and even bring physical benefits like lowering blood pressure. This is because repetitive prayer, like the Rosary, helps the brain enter a state of deep calm and concentration. Now imagine the benefits of praying the Rosary every day for a whole month, and a whole year. The transformation doesn't happen overnight, but the more we pray, the more we realize that something different starts to work within us. If you've already felt this peace while praying the Rosary, leave a like on this video so more people can experience this grace. And if you haven't tried it yet, don't worry, because in the next part, I'll show you how to make it a habit and never stop. Lots of people try to pray the Rosary every day, but after a week or two, they give up. What can you do to really make it a habit and stick with it? The first step is to understand that the Rosary doesn't have to be a burden in your routine. It should be a moment of grace, not a heavy obligation. For this, an essential tip: have a set time. If you don't set a time to pray, the chances of forgetting are huge. Pick a time that works for you. It could be in the morning before you start your day, it could be at night before you go to bed, or even on your way to work. The important thing is that it becomes a sacred commitment. Another key point: use visual reminders. Keep your Rosary close by, in a place where you see it every day. It could be next to your bed, on your desk at work, or even in your pocket. If you prefer to pray using your phone, there are apps that can help you keep track of your prayers. And if you find it hard to pray alone, find a prayer partner. It could be a friend, a family member, or even an online group. Praying with someone else makes you more likely to stick with it and makes the prayer even more powerful. Now, if there's one secret that really makes a difference, it's this: start small, but be consistent. If you feel you can't pray the whole Rosary right away, start with one mystery a day. The most important thing is not to give up. Before you know it, praying the Rosary will be as natural as breathing, and the good things that come from it will change your life forever. But before we wrap up, I have a special invitation for you. Now that you know what happens when we pray the Rosary every day, there's just one thing left: taking that first step. Today, I have a special invitation for you. Pray the Rosary for the next 7 days, just 7 days. Pick a time, follow the tips I gave you, and see for yourself what happens. Then come back here and tell me in the comments what's changed in your life. I'm sure you'll feel the difference. Our Lady asked us to pray the Rosary every day, and now you know why. It's a powerful tool, a path to peace and a source of grace that changes lives. So, if this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear this today. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click the subscribe button because there's much more to come. Now grab your Rosary and get started. You won't regret. Do you want to understand the prophecies shaping the future of the world? In the ebook Catholic Prophecies, The Future of the World Revealed, you'll uncover powerful messages from the Bible, saints, and Marian apparitions. Most importantly, you'll see how they connect to the times we are living in. Don't be left in the dark. Get your copy now. The link is in the description and pinned comment.